Ladies on Records started to exist more or less in 2014-13, but the proper name and the project started in 2015 when I came to Turkey to dig in Turkish female music from the period of 60s, 70s and 80s. Before I came to Turkey, I understood that there is a lot of things to discover, because when I was so much interested in Turkish psychedelic music from the 70s, I understood that there is very little information about women from this period. The Drop of Luck compilation is a musical story of adaptations and sources in Turkish and Israeli music. And it presents the inspirations in music from both countries. And it's packed with surprising similarities and surprising interpretations. Turkish people can find music that is known as very Turkish and understand that the origins come from Israel, and vice versa. The Israeli audience can understand how many of their music was created actually, but firstly by the Turkish artists. The Drop of Luck was actually an adaptation of a very, very successful Turkish song of Orhan Gencebay, Dil Yarası. And this is the story of how the music of Turkey, the arabesque music, came to Israel and started to be perceived as the music of a new cultural identity. And arabesque is the perfect way of telling the story of bleeding souls. It's actually, life is not sweet, it's bittersweet all the time. So I find arabesque extremely realistic. Yeah, for me it's like this. This is one of the most difficult questions. If you ask me about my favorite Turkish female or singer, of course, Kamuran Akkor is one of the most amazing singer for me, but also Tulay Özer, which worked with fantastic musicians that helped her also to deliver a very deep, a little bit psychedelic sound. I used to live in Istanbul for many years. I started in Tarlabaşı, went to Moda, and finally ended up here. Living in Burgazada is a beautiful experience of watching Istanbul from the distance and creating the relationship with the city on your own terms. Because Istanbul is a very strong city, and it takes you without, you are just taken immediately by the city. The artwork of Drop of Luck compilation is also very interesting. The cover girl is Hava Ben, the one that created like this musical manifesto of Mizrahi music with Tipat Mazal, which means a drop of luck. And the artwork was created by the wonderful Israeli designer Itamar Makover, who has a very unique, a little bit surrealistic, but also a little bit comic book style. And he decided to recreate a modern version of Zahavas Ben cover art from 90s. In my opinion, music is not only sound; it's element of culture, and culture is the story to tell. Behind music, there are always people.